Golden child sister slept with my fiancé and our parents chose her. Hey everyone, before we start, I want to thank you for clicking on this story. If you like content about family drama, betrayal, and redemption, don't forget to subscribe. It really helps us grow and bring you more incredible stories like this. Now, let's get into it. I, 28M, never thought I'd be the kind of person to air out my family's dirty laundry online, but after everything that's happened, I need to let this out somewhere. My sister Emily, 26F, was always the golden child in our family. If she sneezed, my mom would bring her soup. If I broke my arm, I was told to walk it off. Growing up, everything revolved around Emily. My mom would brag about how beautiful and talented she was, while I was just me. I wasn't a problem child or a screw-up. I got good grades, stayed out of trouble, and helped around the house, but I was invisible. When I got into engineering school with a partial scholarship, my parents barely reacted. My mom's response was, "That's nice, honey, but Emily just got the lead in her college play." My dad laughed and said, "Guess you'll be the practical one." I learned early that I'd never be the favorite. But I accepted it. I focused on school, built my own path, and met someone who made me feel seen. Lena, 27F. We met during my senior year at university. She was funny, grounded, and kind in ways I didn't know people could be. We clicked instantly, and after 2 years of dating, I proposed. It was the happiest day of my life. My parents didn't seem to care much, of course. They congratulated me in the same tone they'd use if I told them I bought a new toaster. Emily, though, she acted thrilled, hugged Lena, told her how beautiful she was, and even offered to help plan the wedding. I should have known something was off then. Lena and I started living together after our engagement. She got close with my family, or more accurately, Emily. My sister would come over often, sometimes just to hang out with Lena. I didn't mind that first. I thought it was nice that they got along. But I started noticing weird things. Inside jokes between them, Emily complimenting her clothes a little too much, and Lena defending Emily whenever I complained about her getting special treatment. Still, I brushed it off. I trusted Lena. Until the day everything fell apart. It was a Sunday morning, about 6 months before our wedding. I was out getting groceries when I realized I'd left my wallet at home. I turned back early and walked into my apartment, only to find Lena and Emily sitting together on the couch, both looking like ghosts who'd seen one. There was a long, terrible silence. Lena's eyes filled with tears. Emily couldn't even look at me. "What's going on?" I asked. Lena started crying. I need to tell you something," she said. I didn't want to hear it, but I already knew. Somehow, deep down, I knew. She confessed that she and Emily had been sleeping together for months. It started by accident, she said, during one of those times Emily came over while I was at work. She said she felt lonely because I'd been working overtime, and Emily was just there. My brain couldn't process it. My fiancé, my sister, the two people I trusted most. I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I just stood there while my heart fell apart inside me. I remember asking, "How long?" "Since February," Lena whispered. It was July.
I walked out, didn't say another word. I drove to a friend's house and stayed there for 2 nights. When I finally went to see my parents, I told them everything. I expected, naively, that they'd be furious with Emily. That for once in my life, they'd see that she'd done something unforgivable. But that's not what happened. My mom gasped and started crying. For Emily! She ran to her room and hugged her while my sister sobbed crocodile tears. My dad sat me down and said, "Son, I know you're hurt, but these things happen. Don't throw away your family over a mistake." A mistake? They called my sister sleeping with my fiancé a mistake. "You're taking her side?" I asked. "She's your sister," my mom said, her voice breaking. "You have to forgive her. Family is family." I looked at Emily. She couldn't even look at me, just whispered, "I'm sorry." I laughed, this bitter, broken laugh that didn't even sound like me. "You're sorry," I said. "You ruined my life, and they're comforting you?" I packed my things that night and left. My parents didn't stop me.
The next few months were a blur. I cut off all contact with them, changed my number, moved to a different city, buried myself in work. It wasn't easy, but it was the only thing that kept me sane. I started freelancing in software engineering, built connections, and eventually joined a tech startup. Working long hours was better than thinking about what I'd lost. About a year later, my aunt, my dad's sister, reached out. She'd always been the only one who saw how toxic things were at home. She told me that Emily and Lena tried to make it work but didn't last. Apparently, Emily thought Lena would marry her, but it fell apart after a few months. Lena moved out of state. Good riddance. Emily, of course, ran back home. My parents welcomed her with open arms like nothing had happened. My mom even posted a picture of the two of them baking cookies with a caption like, "So proud of my beautiful daughter. She's been through so much." Through so much? She caused it. I ignored it all. The next few years, things started to change for me. My company took off and I got promoted. I built a solid life for myself. Nice apartment, a circle of good friends, and peace, the one thing I'd never had growing up. Then one night, about 4 years after I cut contact, my phone rang. It was my mom. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity got the better of me. "Michael," she said, her voice shaking, "please don't hang up." I didn't say anything. She continued, We need your help. Things have been difficult." That word again, difficult. Turns out Emily had been living off them ever since. She'd quit 2 jobs, racked up credit card debt, and convinced my parents to co-sign a loan for some business idea that failed within months. They were broke. My dad had retired early because of back issues, and my mom was struggling to pay rent. "Michael, we're in trouble," she said. "Emily's trying her best, but she needs time to get back on her feet." I couldn't help it. I laughed.
Trying her best? She's 26 and still living off you, and you want me to help? "Please," my mom whispered. "You're doing so well now. Just a little help for the family." I went silent for a long moment. Then I said, "You had a choice, Mom. You chose her. Now you live with it." And I hung up. I didn't regret it, but I won't lie, it shook me. I spent that night sitting in my apartment, staring at the ceiling, wondering how everything could go so wrong, how my parents could be so blind. A few weeks later, my aunt called again. She told me my dad's health had declined, and that my mom was beside herself. Emily, meanwhile, was trying to become an influencer, posting makeup videos from their tiny apartment, asking for donations on Patreon. I felt nothing but exhaustion. Then, 1 year later, my dad passed away. Heart failure. Aunt Linda told me they held a small funeral. Emily cried the loudest, apparently. My mom kept asking if I'd show up, but I didn't. I couldn't. There was nothing left to say. A few months later, I got another message, this time from Emily. "Hey," it said, "I know I hurt you. I was stupid. I miss you. Mom's not doing well. Please don't hate me forever." I stared at the message for a long time. I didn't reply. I realized something that day. Forgiveness isn't always about letting someone back into your life. Sometimes it's about accepting what they did and deciding you don't need to carry it anymore. I don't hate Emily. I don't even hate my parents. I just don't care anymore. They made their choices. I made mine. Now, years later, I've built the life I wanted on my own. I have peace, purpose, and people who treat me like I matter. And that's more than I ever got from the family I left behind. Because sometimes the only way to win is to walk away.